We need to talk. We need to talk about sitting down. Now, my first few episodes of Modded, you'll have noticed I'll have started my character sitting down on a nice bench to chat to you. I feel it's a little bit more kind of intimate, a little bit more kind of like, you know, welcome to my living room. But the game has that restriction in that you can only actually sit down on a bench or a chair or something like that. And in some ways that kind of makes sense, but there's actually some restrictions on that as well, because in this game you can only... He's dog meat in the fire. No, he's not. He's not in the fire. He's fine. He's not. We're not setting fire to the pet. That would be wrong. You know, there are some restrictions. You can only wait when you're sitting down on a chair or asleep. And in some ways that's good because obviously that's more comfy. There's a kind of element of realism to there. But other times it's kind of like, well, actually I can just wait. You know, if this was real life, I could just lean against a wall. You know, go to a little happy place in my head, and I can wait. Or I know this is crazy, I could sit on the floor. Now, if you're just doing one of those missions that requires you to come back at a certain time, or requires it to be kind of day or night, or maybe you've got one of those perks that works in the day or the night, or maybe you've got the Darker Nights mod, which I covered in the previous Modded, and it's too dark for you, or you want to go out, blah, 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 blah. You know, there are times when you just need to change the time of day, and you're looking around going, great, where's the chair? Where is the chair? And we're looking around and there is no chair. Now, I could probably go and explore some buildings and find a chair over there in the Red Rocket. And, you know, once you get a bit experienced in the area, you kind of tend to know where the kind of buildings and locations are. But often, especially when you're in a new place, you're like, well, where is the chair? So, we need to sit down. We need to find a way of waiting in kind of any location. And I have got a few little tools that'll do that for you. So, of course, as usual, we need to mod it. So, I have got a mod to show you and a little tip to show you to enable you to kind of wait anywhere. The first one is the mod which is called Sit Anywhere. It's named after the job it does, and it's by FlipDeezy. And you install the mod in the usual way, which I'll show you at the end of the video through the Nexus Mod Manager, and then you go to your apparel menu, and you'll find you've got Sit, and if you've installed the optional install, you'll have Sit Sad as well. And what you have to do is to favorite them. So you press your Q button, and you choose where you want them to be, and I've added them on here, and I'll show you again how you do it. You just hit the Q button, and you click the button, and it's then kind of added. Then what you do is you then go, you come out of it, you go to your favorites menu, and you kind of select the option that you want to use. And you can do that by pressing the hotkey or by pressing it, and when you press it, he will zip into the place that you want. Now, depending on how you activate it and how many times you've activated it and yada, 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 sometimes it will work perfectly like this. And sometimes it'll kind of just zap into place like it did the first time. For me, it often seems that the first time I activate it, it just goes zip, and then if I activate it again, it then kind of goes quite nicely into place. And we've got two really, really nice sit animations, and it just looks so much better. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just has... We now look like a person that's out in the middle of nowhere, you know, is lost in their own thoughts. And if you're a role player like me, the ability to kind of sit down a little bit like that and, you know, talk to the audience, going to go through the kind of thought process of the character, if only for 30 seconds or so, I think makes it far more kind of atmospheric, especially if you can put a few kind of little light sources around. And for those of you that are comfortable kind of going into the console as well, there's a few other little commands we can use. If we toggle the floating camera, which is TFC, we can then, you know, move the camera around a little bit, because there's a few little restrictions on what we can actually kind of do just from the default kind of camera movement, you know, because the camera is always based around this certain height. So if you look above my head without the floating camera, Dogmeat, you're blocking my pose. Dogmeat, that's your ass. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you come off now, you know, you can imagine now he's deep thinking, you know, what shall I do about my son? What shall I do about saving all of the people? What shall I do about all the super mutants I killed? And to make it almost extra atmospheric, you can slow down the camera as well. If you do sucsm, and you can go all the way down to something like 0.25 or something like that, quarter speed, really kind of slow, intense, you know, and go really close up, you know. Should I join the Brotherhood of Steel? Should I do the Railroad? What if I was a synth all along, man? What if I was a synth all along? You know, and you got that nice kind of atmospheric. And when you want to go back, you just do TFC again, and you're back attached to your character in the usual way. But we're interested in the oh, Dogmeat found something. Good. He found that he could stand in the way of the camera. But we've got another animation as well. So that was just sit, and if you then activate it again, your character will come out like that. And if you activate the other one, you can see, you know, perhaps if your character has done something particularly despicable, we can see the other one. Again, you might have to activate it a couple of times. It does work fine. It does work fine, but you sometimes have to do it just a couple of times to get it to do that very, very smooth one. And as you can see here, this is the properly kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe the thing, it just did. And, you know, he can rock backwards and forwards and you can moan and bemoan. Now, obviously, now we're sitting down, we probably want to wait. Now, there isn't at the moment, and it is the 7th of May, a way to just wait anywhere. There's a few little other mods that will do it, and I'll cover them in the future. There's one that puts a campfire in different places. There's one that puts a sleeping bag down and things like that. But if you just want to, in this kind of position, just wait. At the moment, as of the 7th of May 2016, hit the console button again and type show menu, sleep wait menu, or menu even. There you go, I'll leave that on the screen just so you can see it. Show menu, space, sleep wait menu. So sleep wait menu is all one word and show menu is all one word. You press enter and up it comes. Remember to close the console and then you can wait the usual amount. So let's just say I was waiting for the dawn. So let's just wait 3 hours and you'll see that the sky will get a little bit lighter as we go. And we're now here at 8 AM. We are ready to go. It is the morning and we're ready to adventure. And you, of course, press the favorites menu again, select the button again, and your character will quite nicely come out of his seating pose. Just a nice little mod and a nice couple of little console commands that I think can really kind of aid immersion, can give you a nice little way of kind of taking screenshots of your character if you're into that kind of thing, can give you a nice way to kind of do little monologues, and just kind of, you know, it means you're not so dependent on the environment around you as well. You know, those obvious thoughts like, well, why don't I just sit on the floor? You know, you can now just do that. So a massive thank you to FlipDeezy for the little mod, and I hope you enjoy using the console commands as well to wait and sleep anywhere and to look thoroughly sexy. Installation is really easy and follows completely the usual pattern. You come over to the Nexus. I'll put the link to sit anywhere in the description, as well as I'll write out the console commands that you might want to use that I've used in the video as well for you to have a little look at. You come over to the read the description, of course, in case there's been any updates or anything you want to see. Head over to the file section and you can get sit anywhere, which was the one with the kind of the knee up, looking very good looking. And if you want the other one as well, you click sit anywhere other animation, which was kind of the rocking backwards and forth one. You will have to overwrite a couple of files because they duplicate it, because you can actually have one or the other, or you can have both, depending on which one you like or which one you're about to do. And then you just head over to your mod manager and you activate whichever one or both that you want. I'm hoping at some point in the future someone will put a menu, a hotkey menu, to allow us to just wait with just by kind of pressing a button rather than typing in a command, but it's not there at the moment. But it is only the 7th of May creation kit's only been out a few weeks, so maybe soon, maybe in the future. So there we are. You can now create the magazine covers of your dreams. Sit anywhere by FlipDeezy, and a couple of useful little console commands to help you wait anywhere. Definitely helped my kind of roleplay and enjoyment of my game. And of course, there are lots of other mods on the Nexus that will enable you to kind of sleep in various places and put camp beds down and things like that, which of course we'll cover in the future, or of course you can search for them yourselves. Thank you for watching. If you have found it useful, then please do like the video. Don't forget to endorse Sit Anywhere if you like the mod, and I will see you soon on Mod It. You have been fantastic, and you know what? I look pretty good too. Take care.